In this video, we will see why the stocks you buy never go up. The goal of this video is to give you actionable tips so that you perform a better analysis, you reduce the number of mistakes, and you can pick winning stocks in the future. In case this is your first video from this channel, welcome. My name is Christophe Nour. I've been investing in the stock market for almost a decade now, and I have achieved a performance of 25% per year. And I follow these steps. So let's start with the first one. Why the stock you buy never go up? The first point is you lose money when you don't research enough before buying a stock. I see plenty of people just looking at a name going up, a stock going up, and they buy because they think it will go up even more in the future. Or you have the reverse situation of looking at a stock that went up a long time ago, now it is going down, and they say, oh, it's easy, it will rebound, without any regards to fundamentals. Guys, at the end of the day, fundamentals matter. I have a clear rule for this that you can apply right away. You just track the earnings per share of a company with the stock price of a company. I can give you plenty of examples. You know what? I don't plan to make this a long video, but I can give you some examples that will definitely help you. I can go to Stock Unlock, which is a great website. As always, you have the link, a discount code in the description. And what should I show you? Maybe AutoZone is a good example of this one. The goal is to show the correlation between earnings per share and stock price. And if the stock price is dropping, maybe it's because the earnings per share are declining. So, okay, EPS. At the end of the day, in the very long term, the stock price will go at the same pace as the EPS growth, earnings per share growth, roughly speaking, in the very long term. Here is an example. You can have this. Here you go. For AutoZone, this is a company in the auto parts business, auto parts industry. This is a company that has grown their earnings per share by 17% per year for the past 20 years. And the stock price has been up 21% per year for 20 years. You have this correlation. And even if you play around with the data a little bit, you will find the same stuff. You have other examples. I mean, in this industry, you have plenty of good examples like this. Another example is O'Reilly. You can compare the stock price and the earnings per share, and you have a reason why the stock prices go up. Over the past 20 years, diluted earnings per share went up 20% per year. That's the CAGR, compound annual growth rate. And the stock price went up 22% per year for 20 years. You have this correlation. And I still see plenty of people not doing this kind of easy research, and they just buy because the stock is going up or down for some reason. You need to do some basic research if you want to minimize the number of mistakes you do. For example, you can buy profitable businesses that grow earnings per share 20% per year, as I just showed you. You can invest in companies without any debt. That's another way of reducing mistakes. You just focus on companies that will not repay their debt in the future because they don't have any debt. You have such examples. I mean, I have TPL in mind. You can look at TPL. I can give you some tickers in this video, some companies you can do research on. Texas Pacific Lands, look at this. You will look at this. This is the revenue growth over time, up and to the right. Net income growth over time, up and to the right. And look at this, cash and debt. Cash in green, they only have cash. Debt in red, you don't have any debt. They don't have any cash. So all the cash flow that they generate year after year goes directly into dividends or buybacks, or for some companies, reinvestment opportunities. So that's a second way to look at it. Do the research, fundamental research, earnings, profitability, runway, cash flows, cash and debt. It will definitely help you. The second element that could justify why your stocks that you buy don't go up is first, it was a bad company. Secondly, even a great company can be a bad investment if you pay too much. Now I want to talk about valuation, and TPL is a good segue to this point because now the company is great, but now the company is trading at a PE ratio of over 50. Look at this, forward PE ratio 50, PE ratio 70. So let's say a PE ratio between 50 and 70. Very high, very high. By the way, if you want help with your portfolio and improve your returns, click the link in the description to book a free strategy call with me. We will see how we can work together to grow your portfolio in the long term. And if you look at the PE ratio of TPL, let me check TPL PE ratio, you see that it has been oscillating for 20 years, between 20 and 70. It's not the first time it happens. Look at this. This is 20 years data of PE ratios for TPL. Okay, very well. You see this chart, you see that it is fluctuating. You go from a PE ratio of 20 in 2005 to a PE ratio of 60 in 2007, and then back to 20, 50, 20, 50, 20, 70, 20, even 10, 80, back to 20, and back to now we are at 70, and the forward PE is 50. You see a clear pattern over the past 20 years. We are not talking about 2 months now. We are talking about 20 years. You see that eventually valuation will matter, and valuation for TPL, in my opinion, will go down in the future. And you will have these cycles of back to PE ratio of 20. It will happen. And guess what? If the PE ratio goes from 60 to 20, the PE ratio is cut in 3. If earnings are stable, it will mean that the stock price will get cut in 3. So it will be reduced by more than 60%. So TPL is a good business, so earnings will grow a little bit. But it's convenient to say, it has a good chance of getting cut in half. The stock price of TPL right now has a good chance of getting cut in half. So maybe it's not a good time to buy now at the current levels. If you look at the business model, you like it. Even a great business will not be a great investment if you buy at too high a price. And this is why we talk a lot about valuation on this YouTube channel. I want to double down on this one because you see plenty of companies that are growing a lot, growing like 20, 30%. And they say that eventually the valuation will catch up. Look at Amazon. I can do the same kind of analysis. Look at Amazon. If earnings grow more than the stock price, eventually the valuation will come down. Like Amazon. Yes, Amazon is a good example of this one. Look at this. Before, Amazon had a high PE ratio, like more than 50, more than 80, and now it is going down, and now the PE ratio for Amazon is 35. Let me take another example with Meta platforms, so Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. You have plenty of examples like this of successful companies that were very unprofitable in the past, and then they increased the margins, they became a better, more profitable business, and the PE ratio went from 100 to now 25. What I want to highlight with this third point is not all the businesses are like Amazon or Meta platforms. It's most likely that the business you're looking at in your analysis is not the next Amazon or the next Facebook. So really, I want to double down on this valuation thing of just looking at companies and saying, okay, I will tell you what I'm doing. I analyze businesses, great compounders, great management, etc., great runway, and I only buy when the PE ratio is at a maximum of 30. You have a couple of exceptions in my portfolio because the businesses are so good, but I'm talking about PE ratios of 35. So you don't reach this extreme territory of having a PE ratio of 100. You know what I mean? So pay a huge attention about valuation. It can completely destroy your performance, and you may be enthusiastic when you buy, but wait 1 year and you will cry because you bought at too high a price. Okay, next point. Ignoring the competition is a big mistake. It can kill your thesis. We talked about TPL, Texas Pacific Land. Who are the competitors of this business? We talked about Meta platforms. We talked about Amazon. Who are the competitors of this one? Are they growing faster than the business you're looking at? Are they better, higher margins, higher customer retention? You can check this. And I see a lot of people not making this kind of analysis. They buy one stock, one company, because they like the business model, but they don't look at the competition. And we are living in a increasingly fast world, digital world, and in 2 years, competition can come to eat you. We see the same phenomenon happening in China. China, it's even faster. In 2 or 3 years, competition can completely disrupt an industry. So we really don't want to forget to analyze the competition, the competitors. Maybe if you analyze the competition, the different companies that are operating in the same industry, you will even prefer another company. That was not your goal, you're just doing the due diligence, but maybe you will add a lot of these companies to your bucket list, to your watch list. So it's a fun exercise. It will give you more information about the global industry. It will allow you to understand the potential threats of this industry, who is moving fast, who is hungry for more, who is getting more market share. It's quite important actually. In the long term, it will have an influence on the earnings and the stock price. And the last point is some stocks take time. If you're not patient, you will sell too early. Another thing that is quite important when you invest in stocks is nobody knows what will happen in 1 month. Nobody knows what will happen in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years. So sometimes you do the due diligence correctly. You do the right research, great company, great growth, great profitability. You analyze the great moat of the business, a great management team, a great competitive edge over the competition that you have analyzed, great price, great valuation, and the stock is not growing. So it may be frustrating. And now you have 2 possibilities, 2 scenarios. Either you double down on the stock because as earnings go up, it will be an arbitrage play and the stock will just stay stable and rebound sharply after. So maybe you just have to be patient, or you just do nothing. It's all about portfolio allocation at this point. It's the topic for another video. So either you do the due diligence and you wait, and you can wait 1 year, 2 years after the stock goes up for some reason. I've had these instances. I've had a stock. The company is called Williams-Sonoma. I bought it, great company, great earnings, great moat, and the stock did nothing for some time. I mean, I bought around here in 2022. So, between May 2022 and, October 2023. So, 1 year and a half of zero performance. But the company was getting better. More revenue, more efficiency, better margins, better earnings. And then, for some reason, the stock is a double. Boom. In 1 year, boom, you are a double already. So sometimes great companies, great stocks can take some time to go higher. If you are not patient, you will sell too early. You will lose your mind, and that's why portfolio allocation is very important. I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I invested in Williams-Sonoma and I invested in other stocks that went well into this period. But be careful with the way you build your portfolio. And if you follow all these steps of only keeping the best investments at the best prices, at the best competitive environment, and being patient, I guarantee that more of your stocks will go up. If you like this video and want help improving your portfolio, click the link in the description below to book a free strategy call with me. We will review your situation and see how I can help you get better results over time.